Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Kaii to Otome episode 6, Mysterious Disappearances, in which we will probably try to figure out the case of Shizuku, or rather the disappeared, I can't remember her name, but Shizuku's friend has disappeared. That's gonna be the current arc. I assume we'll see how long it takes, maybe the remainder of the season, maybe a quarter of it. We'll see. In the previous episode, it was just mostly the sleepover that Sumireko and Otto had, and with the difference that they were invited to Sensei's place for a sleepover as well, and they stayed there and they had fun and they ate some maybe not particularly appealing visually, maybe kind of bland, but very healthy and a very good for you meal that she prepared for them. And in the middle of the night, someone knocked on the door. It was an invisible someone whose footsteps only Otto noticed. And then Otto went after it. She was attacked by Shizuku. And Shizuku said that, oh yeah, you were wearing red, and my friend, during rain, just like today, she was attacked also. Someone knocked on her door. She only saw a blur of red, and she was kidnapped, and you were wearing red, walking around in the rain. It wasn't Otto, of course. It's something else entirely. We'll see what exactly. Maybe not in today's episode, probably not in today's episode, but soon enough. In the previous episode, we also had, of course, plenty of fan service, mostly coming from the girl who's the daughter of the owner of the public bath. That's a lot of these, isn't it? Yeah, she very much likes seeing naked women and women in lingerie, first and foremost. You can see why she's agreeing to help her mom at the bath, right? Alas, she wasn't able to see either Sumireko nor the sensei nor Otto. Happens to the best of us. And that's basically it. Sensei, as we left the previous episode, Sensei was still sleeping, satisfied after a sleepover, something that she never got to experience as a child. Now, her being able to make up for it. It really seems to be a running theme, right? Sumireko is able to make up for what she missed in her childhood. Sensei is able to make up for what she missed in her childhood. Wouldn't surprise me if Otto was the exact same. If maybe their previous world was at war or something, and she never had the chance to be a child, and now she has that chance. Wouldn't surprise me if it was the same thing with Shizuku and her friend. Right? Shizuku spent all this time looking for her friend. Her friend spent so much time being disappeared. Now they're gonna be able to make up for it. And right? Right? Am I the only one who sees a pattern here? We'll see if it continues, of course. But yeah, in today's episode, I can expect maybe Ren to finally arrive back, and the search for Shizuku's friend to begin. Yeah, that's about what I expect from today's episode. We'll see, of course, in this episode, but to do that, you will need your subs to follow along with me. Why are you running already? I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 6 of Kaii to Otome in 3, 2, 1, go. Red. What are we doing exactly? And why are we doing what we're doing? Oh, I guess it's a convenient way to teleport home? Or is it where home is and it's just inaccessible unless you do the whole entire ritual? Of course, that's his biggest issue. Also, it's not like BAPs are co-ed. Ah, of course. And he's not really gonna be able to see it, huh? Okay. So he's back. He can't really see. So that's going to be a little bit of an obstacle. I have to check if I have enough disk space. So forgive me for doing that now, but yeah, I do. Right. That's the. Yeah, that's the thing. The statue. Right, as I was saying, he's gonna have a hard time seeing any sort of evidence or videos or anything like that. I wonder if it's actually gonna play into how the story progresses, and that perhaps Sumireko and Otto might have to take a little bit more of a wheel, right? And Adashino, Ren, just being sort of an advisor, right? Maybe something like that. Yeah, we have seen the Maho Shoujo, but only on a screen. We have not seen her. I assume this is the culprit in the current case. Taiwan, okay. So a Taiwanese legend. Hmm. Well, it's been a little bit more than 4 days since Shizuku's friend disappeared. Yep, a red blur. Fongi Xiao Niu Hai. Okay. I probably butchered the pronunciation there. That seems to be a common thing in many cultures, isn't it? Yeah, but it was only 4 days. You can survive 4 days in a cave without food, even without drink. But Shizuku's friend is missing for like what, a year now, right? Something thereabouts. Why exactly? Are you afraid that she's also going to be kidnapped? Or... And yeah, that's of course where it's going to lead. Could you really not tell that this is exactly what you're going to achieve? No, not quite. Just go there, say sorry, and yeah, you're gonna be good. Of course. The overprotective brother. Do legends have a territory like that? Okay, yeah. New gods, though, not like existing deities from existing places. Okay, so some combination with a Japanese legend, maybe, or some variation on Fongyujai, or whatever it's called. Okay, let's exchange contacts. Oh, no, let's call brother. Or call who? Shizuka? Maybe they're meeting up? Oh, Ren essentially allows Otto to take care of this case, but under Sumireko's protection, basically, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, apparently. Wait, I mentioned something about maid cafes in a previous episode, didn't I? I absolutely did. I said that I expected this series to be like, oh, Sumireko has to go to a maid cafe to solve some case inside, and lo and behold, a maid cafe. Okay, Otto is playing the detective. Huh? Yeah. I mean, you asked for help yourself, and you want help. You need help first and foremost. So, don't go rejecting that. Fleshfang makes an appearance. I can't see any warning signs. Hmm. Right. There's quality and there's quantity. Another woman obsessed with underwear. Now you're more approachable. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, they were roommates! Splitting a packet of instant ramen again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another case of a period of their life being lost. Huh? You got something? Is she not on the missing persons list? Like, completely disappeared? Or what's going on? Oh, is Nodoka getting lost now? Wouldn't surprise me. If it rains again, it's... Oh, those are some rain clouds. It's a given that someone we know is going to be kidnapped. Or led away, at least. Oh, I wonder who would be able to fill in. Is Otto old enough to get a part-time job? Also, I'll be she's a head maid. Of course. Oh, Ren is gonna rue the day that he had his sight taken away. Such beautiful sights is he missing. Is that a broken bottle? It's raining, indeed. Oh. Okay, what's the connection then? Oh, so chances are that she's gonna resurface somewhere after half a year, randomly just dead. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, but dead. Mm-hmm. So we have a limited amount of time. Ah, I was hoping for Ren. I mean, yeah, it's an archetype, all right. And she's gonna botch this as well. Yeah, I mean, again, that's a very clear archetype, isn't it? Hmm. I'm just gonna call it Fon Nishiao. That much I'm gonna be able to remember. Yeah, I mean, that fits. Yeah, there are knocks, and if you follow, you end up dead. Suigui, okay. Same goes for Vodniks and others. Oh, so that's why. Legends are born of what people believe. If people believe that a usually harmless legend is very dangerous, it becomes very dangerous. Hmm. That's the appeal. Yeah, I mean, fitting. You mean like what? Otto is in danger? Why would it be Otto? Exactly. Knocking? No. Yeah, for sure there would be all sorts of people. Yeah, just feigning interest and when she's unable to do anything, just immediately losing that interest, right? That's a place that's falling apart. Where the fuck were you exactly? With bad news. She might be able to see her, but she might be dead. Don't open doors. Yeah, and don't you fucking dare open the doors. We already did it once. Oh! Alright. So... is it like a skinwalker thing? Maybe. It grabs a person, possesses them, and then when it grabs another person, it discards the old body. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can see that being the case. Tomoko essentially no longer being herself, but rather being a skinwalker in Tomoko's skin. Unless we're talking of more of a possession thing, then she is still herself, but only possessed, controlled by the Fenjiao. Yeah, Fenjiao? Fenjiao. Something like that. How exactly did they come to that conclusion, though? That's what I want to know. Because my first conclusion was that, oh yeah, it's a monster that kidnaps people and then discards their dead bodies as it, you know, finds new ones, and we have the Fenjiao. So we know immediately that, yeah, that's the cat girl from the opening. And what we also know immediately is that we're gonna watch this episode again. Shall we? Yes, we shall. That's an interesting statue. The new moon sits in the heart of blackness, being stained darker and darker. The arrow of the crescent moon shoots to the east, racing faster and faster. The half moon sinks, and for a moment it touches, growing rounder and rounder, chasing the shadow of the night of the full moon. Around and around they go, and that's how they get to the station. All this time I thought that the station is like a physical place, right? It's a station somewhere off to the countryside, maybe somewhere beyond city limits. There's a ruined station. Nobody goes there because why? And it's also kind of scary, kind of creepy. Or maybe it's, you know, invisible to the normal folk. Only if you're marked by curiosity or whatever, only then can you see it, or something like that. But apparently not. Apparently it's in the middle of the city. And there is a very special ritual you have to do to see it. Also, that's a very badass pose. Right? Like, sitting with one leg down, another leg up, holding something like... If it was a spear or a sword, right? That would be even more epic. But still, a very badass pose. Like a fucking Dark Souls boss sitting on a broken throne as you enter the room. Yeah. Classic banter. Without seeing the video, can't say anything for certain. Yeah, that seems to be her. Incident in Hualien country in eastern Taiwan in 2014. So that's a fairly recent legend. I thought that most of them stem from like, oh, back in the Sengoku period or whatever, but no, that's fairly recent. Unless it is a legend from the Sengoku period or whenever, but this was like the most recent occurrence that got headlines and got people talking, maybe. She went off on her own will and was found in a cave. Alive and well. Well, maybe not like fully well, but alive. A little girl in red, and that's the news. The curiosity collector. It returns the people it takes. Or it's supposed to, at least. And honestly, Ren should know his sister better than to forbid her from doing something that she is very much into. It doesn't work. It would be much better to just tell her, yeah, you can come with, and keep her safe. Which is ultimately what he did, not in person by enlisting Sumireko's help, but still. Why would a recent legend have already made its way to Japan? I guess legends spread, don't they? Right? An urban legend is born somewhere, then it gets transported to another country, another continent, then they kind of mold that legend to their own version, right? Like if a legend of a staircase in Tokyo leading to heaven on every second Thursday of a leap year appeared and then was transferred to, I don't know, Boston or whatever, then people would start creating a new legend. Oh, there is that staircase in Boston that on every third Wednesday of a leap year leads to heaven, right? Stuff like that. Legends travel and adapt. I guess it makes sense. New gods come to dwell in new places. I wonder what exactly is gods in this concept. Like, gods to me from Western culture are, you know, higher beings, very few of them, extremely powerful, all powerful, even, yada yada yada, right? Or is it in the sense of more Japanese deities, right? A rock on the side of the road that people always trip on. Eventually, so many people trip on that rock that the rock becomes a place where a deity resides, right? I have a feeling it might be the latter, right? This sort of a deity. The girl in red also being treated as a deity of sorts. The hertai that Sensei had also being haunted by a deity, right? I think it's in this sense. Never included anything about knocking or the rain, but it evolved, it developed, which again also makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no lead, apparently. Shizuku being apprehensive, telling them anything, which I guess makes sense. There's probably been plenty of people with very weak motivation trying to also look for her, and then very quickly giving up because it was only supposed to be, you know, a curious adventure. Let's look for a missing person. Oh, what do you mean she's not been seen in the city? So, what? We're supposed to look for her outside of the city? No. No, I'm not doing that. Right, she's probably been met with more than one person of that sort, so it makes sense. The only one who looked for Tomoko-san was Shizuku-san. Indeed, she might have known a lot of people, but there's only one best friend that she had. Right? Even what we hear later, that they Yeah, sure, they moved together. We know that. Oh my god, they were roommates. They were together through thick and thin. Then she moved out for however long, maybe years, maybe again, whatever amount of time. This is how you can tell a friend, like a friend, not a colleague, not an acquaintance, but a friend. You lose contact for 3 fucking years, then someone initiates that contact, and you're back to exactly how it was. That's how you can tell. That's exactly how you can tell. She sought out Shizuku specifically after years of not talking, or after years of no contact, just to tell her, hey, I found a job. I found success. Drink beer with me, celebrate with me. She did not replace Shizuku with other people that she met. She did not go, I mean, far as we know, she did not go to celebrate with them. No, she went for Shizuku specifically. Ever since that day, time has stopped moving for me. Something tells me I'm legitimately onto something, thinking that people in this series, people in this show, will be trying to reclaim their lost time. It really seems to me like Shizuku might be the next one trying to make up for all the lost years that she spent looking for her friend. Wouldn't surprise me if, should Tomoko be saved, if they went back to living together. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they were to make up for all this time they spent apart. We'll see, of course. That's just my theory. What day and month? Yeah, lost regarding unsolved cases, missing person list. I wonder if it's actually going to be her. Nodoka. Either Sumireko arrives on time and the case is solved in the next episode, or the girl in red is left to roam, runs away, escapes, and her next target is Nodoka. Nodoka is targeted by the girl in red. Remember what I said about showing things that are unnecessary and how that makes them important in a previous episode, right? Showing the weather report that, oh, it's going to be raining so much. That was unnecessary, but it was very relevant for the plot, so they showed it. This scene with Otto and Nodoka, saying their goodbyes after school or after whatever, it's unnecessary. It didn't have to be there. Nothing in this plot line, in this particular arc, concerns Nodoka, so why was she shown? Why was it shown that she and Otto are friends, that they enjoy each other's company to the point where Otto is legitimately smiling that, hey, Nodoka, see you next day, see you tomorrow, right? Why was it shown? Well, to establish drama when something happens to Nodoka. I fully expected Sumireko to be a maid here, but no, apparently it's Otto. And doing it not for money, but for a deluxe parfait. Local cases of disappearances. On the same exact day, someone was found. Discovered by a landslide. It's my cat having a hairball issue. I wonder whether it's the skinwalker, the girl in red, let's call her, discarding the body to find a fresher one? Or is it a case of attaining immortality more in a way where if her body dies, like in a landslide, for example, she is freed as a free spirit, but then has to find another body. Finds another body, grabs it, and uses it until it too dies, and then it finds another one. Right? Is it more cyclical? That she simply swaps bodies every year during rain? Or is it more coincidental, I guess? She dies, so oh well, she has to find another body. We'll see, I guess. Search request has been submitted half a year before. I guess it's not fully cyclical because Tomoko was missing for a year. Meanwhile, this woman has been missing for half a year. So it's not like, you know, on every first full moon of the year when it rains or, you know, anything like that. And yeah, they really seem to be passing a baton, essentially. Someone disappears, someone else gets discovered. And as we learn, it's a modified version of the legend, right? A girl in red who appears and kidnaps you and then puts you safely in a cave where you get rescued from. That's not, you know, that's a kind of a creepy experience, but it's not particularly scary, of course. So people started building upon it to make it creepier and creepier and creepier. Now she knocks. She invites people to play, probably in a creepy voice. And if you accept her invitation, oh, you can lose your life. Right? And of course, it's during rain because, right? Because there's a rainy season and the lights went out and we're stuck at school and we're telling ghost stories. And I know the story of the girl, but oh, and you know what? She appeared on a rainy day just like today, right? And it builds and builds and builds on the legend until it becomes something else, something much more dangerous. I very much like this bit of world building, that legends become what people make them. If you have a legend of, I don't know, a bird that steals the souls of people sleeping outside, or something like that, and you start mellowing it out. No, the bird doesn't steal those souls. The bird lands next to you and tickles you on the nose. It doesn't even tickle you on the nose. No, it just circles above you and says your name. No, it doesn't even say your name. It just lands next to you and also lays down to enjoy the warmth of the sun together with you. And it has a weird, like, star-shaped spot on its beak. Then that legend will mellow out and will become just that. But if you take that bird that steals your souls and you add gory details, it rips the soul out of your body. It leaves only a pile of gore, and then your body is added to the collection of spirits in the nearby nest. And if you go through the forest and you hear souls wallowing, that's the nest of that bird. And if you go towards, then your soul will be ripped out too, right? Then the legend will become that. Interesting. I like it. I like it because it allows us to put a spin on any witch legend that we take. It can be anything. It can be a legend of a staircase that's longer when you go upwards than when you go downwards. And you put a spin on it that if you miscount the steps, then you die. Or whatever, right? And it becomes that. It suddenly becomes much more scary, much more important, much bigger than it was. Yeah, she very much is like a cat. Dependable, kind, understanding, but also keeps people at bay. Which is, again, perfectly understandable in her particular case. If you're right, then Oto-chan is... This I don't get. Why the conclusion that Oto in particular is in danger? Could be anybody. There hasn't really been a, a connection between the victims, I don't think. It was just random people. So why Oto specifically? Why not Sumireko? Why not Shizuku? Why not Nodoka or Sensei or a completely random man from Okinawa? Why not them? I don't know, but apparently they came to the conclusion that it must be Oto. Or maybe, you can never be safe enough. So just in case it's Oto, you go there, Sumireko, you protect her. Yeah, while I searched for Tomoko, on my own, people said all kinds of things to me, and they never followed through with what they said. Now I want to take a look at this more closely. My brother and I got lost. Okay, so they weren't thrown away from their world, they got lost? Or did it happen after they were banished from the world? They were banished from the world into a no particular place, right? It's not like they were banished on Earth specifically, they were just banished in a space between worlds, I guess, and they were lost, and they just coincidentally happened to stumble upon Earth. Is that what it is? Maybe. Before we knew it, we were somewhere completely unfamiliar. Very much a place full of curiosities, it seems. Waited for help, but no one came. That's... Is it a rock on the left, or is it Earth? I think it's just a rock. Yeah, it's just a rock. Yeah, that's why my brother is pushing so hard. Why isn't anyone looking for us? From what I hear, you were banished, so probably that's why. Does that mean no one needs us? This, again, this line in particular kind of plays into my theory that they will not go back to their original world. That they will stay here. Because they're gonna ask a question, well, we were banished from that world. They clearly don't need us there. They clearly don't want us there. Meanwhile, here, well, Ren is helpful at the bookstore. Oto has her friends. They have a life. They're needed, right? They help people from all sorts of curiosity cases, right? This is where they're needed. So why would we go somewhere we were banished from if we can make a good life for ourselves here? I wonder. But before that, I want to note down that Ren and Oto were banished to a space between worlds and stumbled upon Earth by coincidence. It wasn't that they were banished to Earth specifically. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, don't open the door. That's a very nice camera effect. Don't open the door no matter who knocks. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to do because it's Tomoko. How did she come to that conclusion though? I don't know. I have no clue. Like, all we know is that one person's body gets found when another person disappears. You can surmise from that it's the girl in red jumping bodies. Yeah, that's a safe assumption. But why assume that Oto is in danger? I don't know. Why assume that the previous victim becomes the girl in red? I don't know that either. right? It could very well be that the girl in red kidnaps a person, holds them in their hiding place, I don't know, plays with them, tortures them, drinks their blood, whatever, gets bored, kills that person, and finds another victim. Could very well be that sort of an explanation, right? So how did they come to a conclusion that it's going to be the previous victim? I don't know. Or is it only taking the shape of the previous victim? Like, it's really just the cat girl that we've seen, but shape-shifted into this form, because the hair style is a little different, I think. I don't know, maybe. We'll see in the next episode, of course. We'll see all about it. Right, like the hairstyle, it looks different, I'd say. Yeah, this is asymmetric, right? The right side is longer, left side is shorter. The fringe is like at an angle. She has like evenly parted fringe and straight hair that are both the same length on both sides. I don't know. She's also naked, just wearing a red jumpsuit. And she also has weird eyes. I wonder if maybe it's the jumpsuit that's cursed. That's the curiosity, isn't it? The red jumpsuit is what's cursed. I can see that. I can see that full well. I can also see that it's the end of the episode. I liked it. It was fun getting back to like the detective work and having the detective work now be conducted by Otto instead of Ren. It seems like Ren is going to get his eyesight back, right? He already uncovered the bandages. I wonder if he's just changing the dressing, or is he fully recovered? I don't know, I'm not sure. I'd like him to be not recovered for a while longer to give Otto and Sumireko a chance to get this case solved on their own, without his help. I have a feeling it would be interesting, first of all. Second of all, it would give Otto a nice little boost to her confidence, I guess, to her like self-realization, or whatever you want to call it, right? To not be always dependent on her brother. And it would also ensure that Ren does not kill himself by trying to use his eyesight again, which I have a feeling he might do should push come to shove, especially if Otto is involved. Like, I don't think he would think twice of using his eyes to protect Otto, even if it meant certain death. And I'd rather have him around. Next episode is titled A Station, Scissors, and a Haircut. Station, yeah, makes sense. That's where Otto and Ren live. Scissors are used for a haircut. Why a haircut, though? Are we mixing in another legend where hair is the magical thing? Hair is significant? Like, you cut the red girl's hair and she reverts into a human? Something like that. Her strength resides in her hair. Maybe something along those lines. Maybe. Or maybe something completely innocuous, like Tomoko being saved from her red girl in red form and then offering to give people haircuts for free for saving her, or something like that. Could very well be that. Right? Anything else about this episode? I like how it plays with legends. It doesn't just stick to the legend verbatim, but also, and that's what I like the most, I think, it finds an explanation as to why the legends change. Because sometimes you have a series that is also based on legends, and it changes them, but like seemingly for no reason. Excalibur is suddenly a spear and not a sword. Why? I don't know. Just is. They find a spear named Excalibur. Cool. Alright, that's what it is now. They get a legend of Kuchisake Onna. And now in the legend that they made, if you invite her for dinner, then she becomes your loyal servant. Or, you know, whatever bullshit like that. Just for the sake of having it, just for the sake of progressing the story. Because the show is a harem with monster girls. So, of course, we need to get the affection of Kuchisake Onna somehow. Right? For example. Not the case here. The changes are actually explained in a way that makes sense, at least in my mind, where legends are created by people. What people believe a legend to be, the legend is. They don't live an independent life. Cool. Good shit. I always like the themes of people's collective consciousness creating or altering something, right? People believing in a deity creates that deity. People believing in a legend creates that legend, etc., etc., etc. So I very much did enjoy those themes in this episode. Good stuff. Very good stuff. And yeah, I guess that's gonna be it. We're now gonna be waiting for another episode and seeing what's gonna happen. I wonder if this arc is going to actually end in the next episode. Episode 7, and probably not. It's probably gonna end in episode 8. Then we get episode 9 of Slice of Lifey stuff, and then 10, 11, 12 is the last arc of the show. I think that might be the case. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future brings. We'll see what the future holds. But right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future releases, not only Kaii to Otome, but also Yuuki, Yuuna, Spice and Wolf, Kaiju number 8, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do go live sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through memberships, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Zerena, Yuki Ala, Ishtamu, Dr. Wotaka, Monster Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to dress up as a maid.